are the greater victim, but you never mastered the technique of getting across your victimship, and you never found many issues in which all of you could come together on. You never found many bridges that all of you could stand on and be united on. Too many times you use your oppressor's excuse for separating yourself one against the other, as though there has been a separate oppression for different ones of us. Nobody came to America on separate slave ships. The same slave ship that left Africa and put some people down on an island called Jamaica and they became Jamaicans, put some down at an island called Trinidad and they became Trinidadians, and came over to a colony that would later be the United States, and they became Americans. No Americans left Africa. No Trinidadians left Africa. No high yellows, no low yellows. No deltas, no AKA. No crack addicts. No homosexuals. Away from Africa, you were transformed into something you never would have been had you been left in Africa. You took the attitudes of your oppressor and began to separate yourself from other Africans who were put down at different places and suffered a variation of the same experience. And because we could not come together as one, we have fought the longest revolutions of any people in the history of the world. The Caribbean revolutions were the most successful, and yet there's nothing revolutionary about the Caribbean islands today. And the word Africa don't seem to mean very much there today. In the United States, we have to understand the changing of our mentality. We have to not only study the slave, we have to study the slave master and the habits of the slave master. In South America and the Caribbean islands, they bought in large lots and kept the lots together. They thought they could oppress them better that way. They were right. But they were wrong because they could come together better that way and maintain an African culture continuity that was the basic cohesion of the slave revolt in the Caribbean islands. This is why most of their revolts were successful. This is why most of our revolts in the United States were failures. Had nothing to do with who was braver. But when in the United States, they bought in small lots and broke up the lots. Cousin goes one way, uncle goes another way, your child goes another way. In a month after coming over, you can't identify a single person who was on the boat with you. So though you are a slave among slaves, you were strange slaves. So they have done one thing against you that you got to piece back together. They've destroyed your loyalty system. They've destroyed your cultural continuity. It is hard for you to get your personality chemistry to match with other personality chemistry. You find yourself arguing about something you don't even know what you're arguing about. When we understand the difference between the African in Africa, the African in the Caribbean, the African in the United States, we will sit down and work out our differences and form a union and realize there's maybe 300 million Africans in the Western world, millions in Asia, maybe 750 million in Africa. We number 1 billion people on the face of the earth. Then why are we begging a frightened minority for space in the world when we are the owners of the most expensive piece of geography God ever placed on earth?